Hey guys, here's a look at my banged up DF03 Rally Edition. Today I'm taking some time greasing it up, doing a new body, and just basically putting some new life into it. This is a body all banged out. Had a GoPro mount, never was level. Let you take a look underneath. So yeah, as you can see, this body has seen better days. Underneath, pretty dusty, couple of cracks in the bumper. Other than that, a couple of missing bolts in the bottom. I'm going to try and find some of those in my bag of tricks. It's been running pretty hard on a Sidewinder 3 with a 7700 kilovolts brushless motor. So I'm going to pop off the top of the diffs and I'm gonna grease them up a little bit. It's been squeaking a lot lately, so I'm gonna see if I can, keep it running. So first of all, I think I'm going to remove my servo, or my receiver. The ESC is supposed to be waterproof, and I'm going to give it plenty of time to dry, so I'll leave that on for now, but for the sake of some 3M tape, and I have to clean the connections as well on the receiver. I might as well take it off and actually give it a good wash under soap and water. The servo, it's an old one. I don't care if it gets wet, it's held up so far. And yeah, so I'll do that and come back. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out the receiver connections. Very careful. I like to try and do them all at once. Give them a little wiggle. They're usually corroded pretty good. I want to show you this just to give you an idea of what kind of corrosion gets on the connections. Here's one, two, this one's putting up a fight. There you go. That was for the fan. So yeah, as you can see, like in back here, this isn't actually bad. I've only got about 2 runs with no water involved in these lately since I've cleaned them. But last time I took them out, these connections here and in here had some like green erosion on there, and it was causing obviously the receiver, which is not waterproof, to shut off. Usually I get in here with the toothbrush, clean up all these connections, get in there with the toothbrush. And I have yet to figure out how to install or how to pop off the fan off of this Sidewinder 3. It was done for me at the hobby shop when I bought it, but I would like to get in there and just make sure there's nothing interrupting the fan from going around, no built up dust or anything. Yeah, but right now it's ready to go under the water. The motor should be fine. Servo, I don't care. This should be fine when given enough time to dry. I'm not worried about water getting in the diff cases because that's what we're doing. We're getting in and re-greasing those anyway, and away we go. So it came out pretty good. Let's have a look. All the gum and stuff is out of there. Everything seems pretty nice and clean, easy to work on. I'm going to start with something simple. I'm just going to remove this broken bumper here. It's basically, I'm getting it ready just to go on a shelf, so I got a nice little surprise there I'm going to add to that. When taking off the bumper, I saw this was cracked. This is the what would go right here and pinch down and hold in the bumper. So luckily I have another one from a parts tree that I had before, and we'll throw that one on. So good thing we are in trimming this up. So what I decided to do was put a plastic intercooler in front of the bumper. I don't know how I obtained this piece. I think it was some sort of Kijiji trade I did once. I trimmed up what was left of the foam bumper with a hobby knife, and it came out pretty good, so at least there's some sort of protection there. And yet to see if the body will clear it, but we'll see. It's not hard to remove if it doesn't. Okay, so next we've got to get at the front diff case. We need to first of all take off the shock mount tower, I guess you call it. And then underneath that are a few more bolts. So it's 6 bolts in total. You need to snap off these control arms, or adjustable arms, I should say. So I've gone ahead and torn off the strut tower. Underneath there is the differential housing. I think 4 more screws and that will come off. So we're going to go ahead and remove the diff cover. And underneath, seen better days, but not much dirt. Looking down into the differential, that's working. It's pretty dry. It definitely, I thought I went a little overboard on it last time, but I don't think enough. I'm going to go ahead and pop this out. Let's see what's involved with this. I can't remember. So, boom. Take that all out, clean it up. Bearing seam okay. Other bearing seems okay. Go ahead and lay that aside. So remove the drive shaft off to the side. Take this out. So here's the, I don't know if you call it the final drive, but that's not a moving part. This slides out and goes in there. Not much dirt, I must say. So as you can see, this is pretty gummed up. It's got some hair in there, clumps of hair in there. Still a little bit of grease. I'm going to pop out. There's a little rubber hose almost that's in there and in there. And I'm going to keep them separated and know which side is which. Because that takes a long time to set up, basically, with these dog bones. These dog bones go in here, and the other one goes into the wheel. And without these being cut to the proper length, there's a lot of bouncing around and jamming up that goes on in there. So that takes about an hour to set up. So I'm going to just pull these out and make sure, because it was running nice. And that way I can just pop them back in and save myself some time. I've always just used a small Allen key to get these out. Pop it in. Oop, put it up there to the side. That one in here. Poppity pop. Oh. Come on. That's what that looks like. It's just a little rubber hose. You getting the shot? Are you getting the shot? Just a little rubber hose that goes in there, spacer, basically. Okay, the Power of Dawn, people, check it out. So that's all cleaned up. Dried up a little bit in there. And turns out these bearings do move. And turns out they might be needing some repair. So this is what I use, if you can read it. Just regular old bearing grease. Wheel bearing and chassis lubricant. Get a big tub of it for like $6 or something. He's red. So a little bit of that in there. You gotta grease your motherfucking bearings. So this is it, all greased up, pretty good. I don't know how much more you'd want. Maybe go ahead and drop that back in. So I'm not sure if you're picking it up, but I dumped some more grease down in here. All these little canals. Go and grease up my ship. And now we're going to go ahead and drop it in. So make sure your bearings line up, which I believe they do. A little bit of greasy, greasy, greasy. Oh, fucking right. Next is this bad boy, right? Cha. Let's see, I guess just a little bit here, maybe some, maybe some in the bearings. Get some grease on my bearings. Make sure that they slide nice. A little bit of Whitward. Put it in the fucking Whitward. Back into the drive shaft. Oh, what's going to go on here? How's this going to go down? Maybe try it without the drive shaft. Oh, that's why there's a space. That's why there's a space in the drive shaft. If you can see up in the top there, there's a divider in the case that divides those two bearings. Okay, so that looks assembled. Everything's moving fine. Well, I can't tell with the drive shaft in, but I did a little run. That's good. All the bearings are in their slots. I'm going to go ahead and put a couple bits of goob in there. Oh, apologize. And there. Take my dog bones, which I'm going to clean up later. Just jam it right in there. So now we're going to go ahead and screw down diff case cover, diff cover, ever so gently, because these plastic parts thread out real easy. They go in great the first time, but I find I really don't like being screwed more than once. Oh, I apologize. So next I'm going to do each individual corner. Maybe grease the joints, get in there, take this apart. It's spinning pretty freely, but I can see there's some dirt in there, and I'm doing this now, so I might as well do it, and I'll know it's 100% done. So while I was doing this, I remembered I bought a case of 5 by 11 by 14 or 4, bearings. They look like this. As you can see, they're a lot better than the other ones. They have a rubber seal. And they're just newer, so the bearings inside are definitely in better shape compared to this one, which you see has a lot of corrosion in it. There is no seal. I threw out the worst of them, but the one that was on there when I took it apart was actually creating drag. Like, it would definitely create drag in that corner, and when you're coming down off of a speed or trying to coast, it's just going to drag the car that way. And with the Tamiya steering, it's there's too much play in it to begin with, so you got to try really hard to get good accurate steering. So that should definitely help. That should definitely help. So there you go, the front end's all assembled, everything's greased up. I must say I'm a little concerned right here. It's a little tight. There's a little bit of bounce in that dog bone. You can see it go up and down. I don't know why it would be. Everything went in the same rubber. It's a little tight. I don't know. Well, you won't know until everything's fired up and it's moving and these shocks are set to the right level. There was something else I did too. Reassembled one of the shocks that needed reassembling. Put some new oil in there. Changed these little body clips to non-corrosive ones. And they're fucking neon green, which is awesome. And that's it for the front end. So moving on to the body, I've used this product called Fast Mask. It's a liquid mask. Basically, you do 3 coats, let them cure for a day each. If you use a hair dryer, I'm sure that can speed up the process, but I think let it cure naturally. I've trimmed out a little bit so far. I'm not sure if it's coming up on the camera. The lip and the hood grills, I guess you'll call it. So I'm going to give that a spray first, and then maybe onto the hood, then onto the rest of the body. So I wanted to stop and take a look at the car halfway through the paint job just to give you an idea of some of the work that went into it. Right now I have already painted the side skirts and the front lip and the inserts in the hood and the hood itself. So here's a shot with about 3 or 4, at least 4 coats of white on. Going to peel off the window stickers, and that should give you a better idea. So we're going to go ahead and crack open the rear end diff. It seems pretty dry when I spin it, so I imagine it's pretty dusty in there. We start with these 4 screws right here. That pops off. This can come back without having to remove the shocks, most likely. Then the top part here, and I think that's pretty much the extent of getting at the diff. Of course, we're going to get at the outer links and stuff and grease those up. I'm going to start first with the diff. So I gone ahead and removed the whole shock tower mount here, because I've never actually gotten in here behind this plate, and it looks to be a lot going on in there. I've only removed this top plate and had that removed where the drive shaft gear, I guess, meets a gear that feeds down in there. So I'm sure that could use some servicing too. We'll see. I don't know if I have to remove this bumper first or not, but hopefully not. I may just do it anyway to be safe. So I took the rear cover off, and this is what comes out. That's the gear. Some dirt and stuff in there I'll probably clean out. And I'm sure these bearings could use some cleaning and some greasing. Oh, I can actually see the ball bearing in there, but some new grease won't hurt, I'm sure. The bearings seem good. And clean out the housing, but I'm pretty sure I could have accessed it from the top when you put it back in here. I think there was an access point, but hey, at least I can get in and grease the whole thing. So I'm going to go ahead and gob that up. So I've got it all put back together here. This case, I'm going to go ahead and pop this top part off now. So there is the inside of the gears, pretty dry. Definitely could have used greasing. So there it is, all greased up. Hope everything's back in place. Put the top on. Hey guys, so I got a little update here. You probably don't know because of the magic of televisions, but what you just saw took me months whenever I got a chance to get in and do certain parts. So in the process I've actually moved, and I got a little bit of a hobby room going right now. So I've decided to make this a 2-part video because I have decided to really upgrade the DF03. So I'm going to show you the body, just to give you kind of an ending to this video, and I'll give you a little quick clip of my hobby room. I bought a white table, so maybe it'll become a little bit of a studio for the RC videos. So nothing special, just a little more room than the kitchen table I had before. Up top I've got my HBI Crawler King highly customed. If you want to check out my other videos, should show you more on that. That's a 2-3-part playlist vid as well. I've got my HBI Lightning EPX drift car with an RX-8 body and a Hobby Wing 5500 kilovolt brushless motor I picked up from a guy at the indoor drift track. He installed it. It was great. Go check those guys out. Cosmo RC. That track's constantly evolving, and I've made a couple of trips there this year. Down here's my DF03-RA. This is obviously the video we're doing right now. This isn't the body. This is another body I'd made a year ago, but you're gonna see more about that, like I said, in part 2 and the upgrades to come. Down here I've got on display my DX3C receiver, which I love, and I just recently picked up a 1 maybe 18th scale version of my CRF 450. I really like that, so put that on display. Down here's where I keep my Lipo batteries in a steel case. I want to burn her down, so that should keep those nice and contained if anything were to go wrong. Down here you got my drill for easy access. And over here I've got my everyday dirt bike tools and some storage, but this is the hub of all my RC stuff, full of random different body and paint and wheels and all different random little bits here. And this is my main travel case open out for easy access, so I can get to that. Again, this was all crammed up before, so it's good to have it out and be able to access it. Well, that's pretty much it. It's a real small room. So back to the body. So like I said, I'm going to try and get better lighting in here for better videos, but this is how the body came out. It's a Subaru WRX body. Maybe grab this camera. That's all paint, not sticker, in behind there. There's a couple of different layering tricks I had to use here. Like I said, I used that silicone paint, I guess you'd call it, fast mask, and cut out the lip kit, and the window edges are sticker. A lot of the sticker kit on here, but what is paint is the side skirt and the hood scoops, and I think that's about it. In the front lip, of course. It's a pearl white paint. I don't know if you could really pick it up in this poor lighting, but I'm obviously going to do a video of it running when everything's said and done, but I'm pretty happy with how it came out. So I think I'm going to give you a little sneak peek of the stuff I'm going to put on. It was quite the order that came in the mail, so keep you stoked for the next vid, and I hope you think it turns out good. If you got any tips or anything about what I'm doing right or wrong with this, second thought, I've been thinking maybe bearing grease wasn't the way to go with this differential, at least. So let me know what you think. Any comments, like, subscribe, what have you, and I'll hopefully get the video to you soon. In the meantime, have a look at these parts. So hopefully this is going to be enough light for now, but here's the group of parts that are going to be going on there. I'm going to start with the wheels. What I got here is a Works Emotion 26mm 6mm offset rim. Now, I just recently learned about offset and stuff, so I don't know if maybe I'm going to be using these rims or not. They are a nice rim. It depends if it clears the body. I couldn't tell you what millimeter the body is right now. On those, or well, I guess first of all, in those are going to go some hard sponge for a four-wheel drive or front-wheel drive touring rally car, which is what the DF03-RA is. You can have a little read there. I hope it's not too close. And then on those rims are going to go 26mm width. What else does it say about them on here? But they are a nice tire. Hopefully the light doesn't mess up, but it's a good all-purpose pavement tire. I'm going to give them a shot. I'm coming off of the Tamiya tires, which I thought were incredible, but I'm going to give these a chance. It is a WRX, so I'm thinking maybe I might put this tray on top. I'm not sure. It might be too big and goofy, but it's made by Integrity. You know, those WRX guys, they've always got something strapped on the roof. Into the mechanical, we've got these. It's a bevel set. Here is just another duplicate set for the front, right there. These, racing, what would you call them? I don't know what they're called. Steel front differential joint. There was some bend in one of these, and that's what was causing that restriction. I also got some aluminum front lower A arms, and I've got some aluminum from 3 Racing, aluminum rear suspension arms. So that's front and rear A arms, I guess you'd call them. I know I showed you these, but I might go with these because, as I talked about in the video, it's hard kind of finding the spacing on those, and it's all just to keep that dog bone tight. These are universal steel swing shafts, and as you can see, they're all one piece. So I'm going to try that setup. It might actually work a little better. I don't know. Again, I'm pretty novice. And here we have an aluminum rear dampening tower. So that keeps getting stripped out on me, so I decided to go with aluminum. This is for the rear. If that works good, I'll probably get one for the front. And that's all the parts right there. That's what's going to go on there, and hopefully it makes it a better rig. Again, stay tuned and subscribe. And if this video has been up for a while, maybe check. Hopefully it's in the suggested videos, part 2, where this all comes together. Take it easy, guys.